Please watch the video till the end and understand this story completely. My father was always a controversial figure in my mind. Although I can honestly say that when he wasn't getting in his own way, he tried his best to raise me. Seeing how some other people grew up, I know I have no right to complain of my upbringing. Story starts off when my father was visiting South America. I wasn't even a thought at that point, but that was apparently where he found my mother. He managed to sneak my mother into the USA and then married her. Not long after, I came around. For reasons I won't go into, the marriage didn't work. Although my dad eventually got custody of me, he did lose the house in the divorce. Him losing the house sparked an anger in him which he never let go of. When I was 10 years old, my father got remarried. You can say he pulled a Kanye West. The reason I say this is because she was from the same country my real mother was from. She was a number of years younger and looked quite a bit like her too. The marriage took place overseas and he took me along with him. Although all this was off from the norm, I didn't know any better. At the time I was just happy to finally have a real family. For reasons I won't go into, that marriage didn't work either. But the night they got married is something I will never forget. After the ceremony, the three of us returned to our hotel room and my father asked me a question. "Son, tell me, would you like to call your mother and tell her about the wedding?" I thought this was odd because I knew he hated spending money on long-distance calls. However, I brushed it off and dialed the number. My mother picked right up and I excitedly told her what happened. I said, "MOM, MOM, MOM. Guess what? I got a new mom. She looks just like you too." At the time I was a bit surprised when I heard my mother's voice. She didn't return my enthusiasm. Her response was, "Son, just know I will always be your mother. No matter what, I will always be here for you." Not long after that I hung up, but something about my mother's tone stuck with me. At the time I didn't understand what really transpired, but I knew something was off. I was in my early 20s when I started doing introspection. That moment came back to me and it hit me like a lightning bolt. My thoughts were, "OH. My God, what did I do? I was still on great terms with my mom, but how do I ask forgiveness after doing something like that?" At the time I was living a few states away and I would go and visit periodically. I decided I would do it then. At the time my mom was living with her new husband she met not long after her divorce. He loved me like a son and they had 2 children together. My mom and I were going for a ride when I finally apologized. My words were, "Mom, I felt so bad. Tell me, can you forgive me?" My lovely mother just waved her hand. She said in her native accent, "It's okay, baby, your father just always trying to hurt me." Yes, I remember that night. I told you I will always be your mother and I will always be here for you. Mom, thank you so much. I said with a sigh. It's funny, that was my biggest and only regret for the longest. A bit ago a few of my close friends were talking about what regrets we have and I told them of this story. It's not really a game I wanted to win, but I guess I did win because no one could top that. One of the guys actually said, "Man, that is really messed up. You should call her up right now and apologize." I was thinking, damn, this guy actually made it worse. From there my mom started laughing. I joined her and we never brought it up again. For some context, I thought I would also say that my father passed away a few years ago. We never spoke of this situation, but I decided to forgive him. I wouldn't call it justice, but I know he didn't die a happy man. I definitely didn't want that for him either. When I came to his home I found his girlfriend had robbed him after he passed. I decided not to even have a funeral because I knew no one would show up. That being said, please be respectful. Thank you for subscribing to my YouTube channel.